The man that'll be involved in the main event has rewritten the history books when it comes to the sport of boxing, when it comes to being an independent businessman, a person that I am a massive fan of, because without him, his brother, and a couple others, we would not be able to do what we do right now for a living. Ladies and gentlemen, undefeated global superstar boxer, Jake Paul.
Yeah!
What up, dude?
Bro, I need to pay you to do my intros all the time.
Hey, I'm pretty good at them, Jake. It's kind of a thing I do, but it only happens with people I actually respect. I can't fake it. You know, it's tough for me to fake it. You know what I mean?
No, well, I appreciate the kind words, man, and it means a lot, and I'm a big fan of your show. AJ, watched you growing up, man, so yeah, happy to be here.
Listen, you Ohio guys are something special. I mean, always have been, always will be. I'm from Pittsburgh. AJ and I have a great relationship, I think, because of the massive amount of Ohio he is. I think watching you, Jake, though, from afar, just, you know, as when you're in the spotlight in young ages, as you're trying to grow and develop, you can make some mistakes and the world sees it. I think what you have been able to do and trailblaze business-wise for shows like us and other people, I want to let you know, massive ally, massive fan. I appreciate you for joining us, Jake Paul.
100%, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Trying to change the game, make history, and innovate, pave the way.
How'd you get into boxing? Did you just get bored of making hundreds of millions of dollars dominating the internet, or what? You said, you know what, I need to get punched in the face? What were you thinking?
Honestly, like partially true there. I was sort of sick of filming. I was like filming every single day for 2 years straight. And these other YouTubers in the UK called my brother and I out, and we basically signed a deal to fight them. And we had like 4 months to learn how to box. And I knew that everyone wanted to see me lose because I was like a very polarizing figure at the time. Like everyone, there was like this whole, hate wave of Jake Paul. So I just made it my mission not to lose, and sort of just fell in love with the sport, beat my first opponent, and just loved the content, loved the press conferences, loved winning, loved standing on the ropes, flexing on everyone afterwards. So I just fell in love with it.
Jake, what part of your whole crazy life do you not love right now that obviously you're all over the place, you're a unique, polarizing character? Is there anything you wish you didn't have to deal with?
I try to live life with like no regrets and just have like a positive mindset. I think, boxing is something that you have to sacrifice so much to do. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And so part of me misses, the old days where I would just wake up and do whatever I wanted. But look, I'm having fun, enjoying life, and, the critics sometimes will try to ruin what you're doing and hate on you and, bring you back down because they don't like to see people succeed in anything. Yeah. And so just dealing with them and shutting them up, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, being a star on the internet, and not just, star is kind of understating it, but then watching the mainstream kind of catch up to you and your brother, and it's been awesome, because now you got people dealing with the Paul brothers who I don't think they fully understand everything you've accomplished on the internet and how hard it is to accomplish what you were able to accomplish on the internet after your Disney fame and everything like that, the amount of work that goes into it. But now mainstream people are, they know who the Paul brothers are. They know who the problem child Jake Paul is. Whenever you had that Triller fight and Pete Davidson, I thought for sure that they had to go, just like the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers, when they make decisions, they should do that. I thought for sure, since you were kind of introducing a lot of us to this Triller, I had no idea what the fuck a Triller was. I probably should. I'm a social media company. I don't know what that was. But whenever you were having fights on there, like you introduced me to Triller, I signed up for it. Then listen to Pete Davidson, like the way he was talking the entire time, I was like, oh, Jake must just be like, yeah, that's cool. We'll buy into that whole thing. Did you expect, and then the commentators basically being like, oh, this is bad for boxing. We were like, what the fuck? Like, the only reason why this is happening is because Jake has decided and Logan has decided. Do you guys have a hands-on with the production, or are you more so stand off and just kind of work your business and show up and do your thing?
No, yeah. So that was a situation that sort of got out of control. I was very involved in the production as much as I could be. I was the one who like came up with the idea to, have Pete Davidson, because I thought he would do a great job. And then boom, all of a sudden they show up and start talking shit during the broadcast. I didn't know that was even happening. Like I was focused on my fight, and afterwards, my manager was pissed at Triller, and that was just a nightmare. And you're right. Like, I'm the one who literally hired these guys to be there, and they're sitting there, they're talking shit. So yeah, if I ever see Pete Davidson, I'm slapping the shit out of him.
On site, huh? On site.
100%. A good old like backhand, because he's a bitch. Just a good bop.
Yeah, gotta do it. Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, this fight is on Showtime pay-per-view. Is it going to be, like, are we going to get to see some of the absurdity that we have seen in the past on some of your fights? Like, I feel like Showtime's more buttoned up, more professional. What you do is professional, but I love the bizarre, like, circus atmosphere that surrounds your fights.
I think there'll be some different elements to it, but it's definitely going to be a lot more buttoned up, a lot more professional, and more so focused on the fight. I think I had a bad taste. I think even my fans had a bad taste in their mouth after watching that broadcast, because even my fans were like, what do we watch? Isn't this Jake's event? Why are they talking shit about him? And so for this one, we kind of wanted to just dial it back, focus back on the fight. And, some people loved the circus thing. Some people didn't like it. So we're sort of just testing out new things within the sport. And, you will see some awesome things, like my outfit that I'm wearing, like my shorts. I've never seen anything like it done before. So there's some cool things, cool surprises on fight night. But for the most part, it's going to be more professional.
Okay. Hey, don't wear a 40-pound suit. Deontay Wilder lost to Fury because he was fucking tired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Walking out to the ring or whatever. The Mount Westmore performance, though, love that.
Yeah.
Beeves, love that. I mean, you made it an event. You made it a spectacle, which I think was desperately needed, not just in boxing, but in the world. Like, hey, we need something to entertain and to entertain us, and I think we did that. Let's get to the fight, though. Tyron Woodley, this is a striker, right? That's the big conversation. It's like, hey, this guy has lightning in his hands, as do you, by the way. That's all you've done is knock people out. Are you training differently, or is just kind of the evolution of Jake Paul, the problem child boxer, and you're just kind of going to go in there and handle business?
Yeah, no, look, I mean, this is my hardest fight for sure, most serious opponent. And so everything in this camp is more serious, I have to be perfect on August 29th, and this is a guy with knockout power, one of the best welterweights ever, and I know that, and my team knows that, my coaches know that, and so we're doing everything in our power to prepare for him, doing everything right in camp, and this has been the most serious I've ever trained, and the most amount of sacrifices, the most amount of isolation I've ever done. So I'm ready, and it's been a perfect camp. But Tyron is a serious opponent.
Are you in Puerto Rico?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you and your brother.
I'm wearing my Puerto Rico shirt right now.
Yeah, I think you're like in charge of the tourism department over there. I think as soon as we heard you two were moving down there, we're like, okay, what the fuck's in Puerto Rico? Like, there has to be a reason they're going down there. You've kind of just did it to get away, to escape, and then you just fly back whenever you need to be at a thing, and then you go back to Puerto Rico?
Yeah, look, man, I came down here and I fell in love with it. It's simply paradise. Originally I was thinking of moving to Miami because of the beaches and the ocean and, all that stuff. But then I go to the beach, I get hit by the paparazzi. A bunch of people are attacking me on the beach. I'm like, what's going on? I come to Puerto Rico. It's private, secluded, and so amazing here. My brother lives right across the street from me. So, it's really a perfect situation for training. And the boxing scene down here is incredible, like the talent. So there's good sparring, and amazing places to train, amazing places to run, amazing gyms. So it's really the perfect place for me to be for the next chapter of my life. You
talked about not getting hit in your first two fights. Only professional boxer ever to basically not, or three fights, not to get punched in your first couple fights ever. In those sparring sessions, and we've talked to a couple MMA guys, and we've talked to, have we ever talked to a boxer before?
Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, Evander Holyfield, but that was obviously towards the end there.
Yeah.
He was not in the middle of his fighting. Are you getting punched in the face in these sparring sessions? Is there off-limit rules? Have you gotten tested on whenever you know you have to eat a couple and bounce back? Has that ever happened before? And in sparring, are you guys going that far, or are you kind of laying off of that?
No, sparring we go 100%, 110%. Like my nose is crooked. I don't know.
AJ Hawks, yeah.
I got a little black eye here. Another one over here, just kind of going away. But I go through real tough moments in sparring. I'm sparring really, really tough guys. Top high-level world champion boxers, high-level MMA guys, bare knuckle fighters. Those guys are tough. And they crack me in the face. I get hit every day in sparring in the gym. But in the fights, I've just managed to knock people out. I think when the 10-ounce gloves come on, like I just stop these people and they don't have enough time to even get to me.
That's awesome.
Hey, Jake, you mentioned you haven't been hit in a fight, but where people claim you have been hit is when you crashed your brother's whole situation in Miami and Floyd's guys grabbed you and started roughing you up. They acted like they really pummeled you. How'd you feel after that?
Yeah, no, they roughed me up pretty good. Floyd, they were not happy, man. I took his hat, and that was the main thing. They were like, "Give us the hat!" And I was like, "No," I was holding on to it, and I didn't want to give it to him. And then there was like 10 guys like pushing me down into the cement. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll give you the hat. And I was like, all right, you want the hat? All right. So, but Floyd got me with a good uppercut. And yeah, I had a black eye. But, I told Logan afterwards, 10 guys holding me back, both my arms back, my neck extended, my face down, and Floyd rips a uppercut shot, bare knuckle, hits me in the eye, and I was like, damn, like that didn't even hurt. Like he hit me in the perfect spot. He hit me in the perfect spot where I got a black eye. But I told Logan afterwards, I was like, bro, this guy doesn't have punching power. Like you're gonna beat this guy. So I don't know.
I love the fact that you just eat an uppercut from Floyd Mayweather. You know what I learned there? I mean, I definitely have a black eye, but my fucking guy didn't knock me out. No? Hey, Logan, this should feel pretty good going into your fight. Go ahead, Ty.
Jake, you obviously, like how polarizing you are, so you have to have thick skin, but does it ever piss you off when you go into like these fights and you've put all this like time and effort into becoming a boxer and guys still shit on you and underestimate you? Like, does that piss you off at all, or do you prefer that going into a fight? It's like, all right, well, no one's expecting me to do anything and I'm about to fucking put this guy to sleep.
Yeah, I guess I don't mind, and I almost think that people are doing that because they don't want to accept the reality of the situation, and they're just making excuses for the MMA community or making excuses for Tyron Woodley. But I think everyone has to see that I can actually fight, and if not, then they're just like not ready to accept reality, and then I just like don't care about those people, and soon they will respect me. I think I have a lot more to prove, and I understand why there are still a ton of critics, and I haven't really even been able to show my boxing ability. I haven't shown my inside game. I haven't showed my cardio. I haven't shown my ability to take a punch. So I think I do still have a lot of respect to earn, and I never try to dig into what the critics are saying.
Okay, you got a big brain, all right? You're from Ohio, so obviously you Ohio folks are, a special fucking breed of human, obviously. But you have a very big brain. It's obvious what you've been able to build, accomplish business-wise, and also you're bringing a sport back into full relevance. I mean, you have a massive brain. At what point did you say, you know what? Need a fucking robot? Did you watch Avatar and you saw them get into the thing and you're like, yeah, I need one of those? When did the robot become a thing? Because it is spectacular.
Thank you, man. I'm just thinking constantly how to do things differently and how to brand myself better than everyone else in this sport. And I was thinking, like, why does every NFL team have a mascot? Why does every NBA team have a mascot? how come boxers don't have a mascot? And so I literally like started scouring the internet to find the person who could make me the dopest Transformer problem child mascot ever.
It is, by the way. It is very sweet.
Yeah.
So who is that? The same person? It has to be somebody you very much trust in there, because I think they were like getting in Tyron Woodley's face. Actually, I think there was like a full thing happening. Is there any rules or guidelines on what that robot can do?
He's kind of has his free reign. You know, he's the problem bot. So he can cause problems and get away with a lot of shit. But he does talk. He does talk a lot. He does have a loud mouth. So it's been pretty funny in the press conferences.
Hey, business-wise, anything you haven't accomplished yet that you want to do? How old are you? Sorry.
I'm 24.
Okay, so we've seen you since what? You're 12 years old, basically.
Yeah,
You just kind of take over. And there's been, I mean, you shut down Vine, basically. You and your brother shut down Vine. You created basically this YouTuber existence thing at this point. You're 24 years old. You trailblazed for us to do what we're doing right now and actually be a legitimate show. Is there anything business-wise that you look to accomplish, or right now everything's focused on boxing?
I think the boxing and the business go hand in hand. I have my venture capital fund, anti-fund, that I run on a day-to-day basis, which has been crushing it. And that and boxing are sort of my main focuses, and just looking to build some brands here in the next couple of months. But I think the overall goal is to become a billionaire, just to say I did it. Like I've had the challenge for myself since I was, I think, 18 years old. And it's not even necessarily about the money. I just think like, hey, if that guy over there can become a billionaire, or Joe Schmo can become a billionaire for inventing Billy Bob teeth, I want to challenge myself, and I want to become a billionaire just to say I did it.
Yeah, that'd be a cool resume piece. I also have the same dreams, not because of the cash, but because there's only a few amount of people that have ever been able to accrue that amount of success. I think you're obviously well on your way. Pool Noodle guy also made $1 billion, so something to think about.
Yeah.
Connor, what do you got?
Yeah, Jake, obviously you're focused on the Woodley fight, but looking ahead, have you ever considered, you and Logan going at it, or you guys just Team Paul forever, no matter what?
No, we've considered it, and I think everyone sort of wants that to happen besides our parents. And so my dad, anytime I get asked about it in an interview or is mentioned to him, he freaks out and calls both me and my brother, puts us in a group chat, and is like, no, absolutely not, this isn't happening. Like, I hate everyone who thinks they want you to do this and blah blah blah, it's not worth the money. But there's always this like thing between Logan and I when we're both boxing, even when we're both sparring, we're both in the same gym. It's always kind of like, who is better? So I don't know.
He's got the reach, right? For sure on you?
Yeah, he's about ½ inch to an inch taller, and we actually have the same reach, and I'm actually heavy. I'm actually heavier, which a lot of people don't realize, because he has a massive upper body, but he sort of skips leg day, and and I have like these tree trunk legs.
So have you ever virtual reality boxed?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so that's all I do, Jake. Listen, that's all I do. All right, I don't want to get punched in the actual face, but I'm in the Oculus. All right, and I'm throwing these big bombs. That first time you were in the gym, whenever the European guys called you out, did you know immediately, like, hey, this is what I'm gonna love? I'm gonna love. Was it something you knew immediately, and would you change how you got into boxing in a different way?
I wouldn't change it, no, but it was sort of rough. The first couple of sparring sessions, I was in there against like an undefeated pro named Nico for the first couple of sessions, and he wasn't really holding back. And that's how we learned. Like, we learned the hard way. I remember my first couple of sessions, I was like bleeding out of my face, and like I was like, what is this sport? Why are we doing this? And I was only able to go like 2 rounds at the time. So it was a very hard start, and it's been a very long journey since that moment. But people, always say like, oh, how long have you been boxing or how many years? And the answer is 3.5 years. But the quality of those years and the quality of that experience is far greater than 3.5 years. So, you could be doing something for 20 years straight, but doing it the wrong way and think you're good at it.
Yeah, the quality of the hours mean a lot more than the quantity of the hours. And Jake, next Sunday, August 29th, live in Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio on Showtime. You'll be fighting against Tyron Woodley, former UFC champion. We're pulling for you and your problem bot, bub.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to talking again.
Oh, you come back on the show maybe?
100%, baby. Let's go.
Hey, that'd be very nice. You'd be blessing us, and we know that right now, so I appreciate the hell out of you. Good luck in your training. Good luck in your fighting. Can't wait to see you the night, Sunday, August 29th, bub.
Awesome, man. I'm going to get this KO. Peace out, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Paul.
Yeah!
I'm going to get this KO. He just knocks people out.
Yeah.
And this is a massive one, by the way. And I think, I forget who it was. Somebody in the fight game was talking about how, we're watching literally like his first couple fights here, and we're judging him as if he's a 20-year vet or whatever. You're not seeing all the great boxers' first couple fights that were in basements or in conference halls against absolutely nobody. He has been, just like everything else in his life, projected to the world in everything he does. I have the utmost respect for that guy. I did not know an Ohio dad, though, would be like, nah, you guys ain't fighting each other. I assumed Ohio dad would be like, hey, let's go ahead and see who's got it.
Strap up.
Hey, how about Dad getting involved? Imagine if Dad was like, hey, if you guys are going to fight somebody in this family, it's going to be me.
Referee even.
That would be awesome. I enjoy him, man. I really do. He's made decisions in the past while growing that people hate him for, but you can't knock his hustle, effort, and everything he's really accomplished,